And the Nets said that Kyrie did not travel to Memphis for their upcoming road game. So, Shannon, what do you think is going on here?
Skip, clearly there's something going on with Kyrie that he needs to deal with personally. And I don't even really want to speculate. The only problem that I have with this is that just like you text your teammates, you could have texted your boss. That's all. It's hard for me to imagine a situation, Skip. I tell you, I text you 30 minutes before the show, hey, Skip, I ain't gonna be able to do it today without texting my bosses. I probably need to run that by Charlie. I need to run that by Whit. I probably go need, even let Shanks know what's going on.
That would be smart.
But just to text you and Jenny, hey, your boy ain't gonna be in today. No, I just look, and I'm laughing about it, but Skip, clearly there's something going on with Kyrie that he needs to deal with.
Yep.
And whatever that is, I hope he gets it taken care of, because I like Kyrie the player. I like Kyrie the person. I just think sometimes he says some things that, and then he gets upset when we call him on it. He gets upset and says, we're making it up. No, bro, you said that. So clearly, this is not normal. It's hard for me to see any scenario you can call your coworkers and not call your boss that you're not coming up to work.
Yep.
Especially in pro sports. Like I said, that's my only concern, because clearly, there's something really, really going on that will cause a player just to not even show up to a game and not tell the bosses, but just call teammates. So, Skip, I don't even want to speculate, but whatever it is, I hope Kyrie gets the help, whatever's going on, and he can get this resolved. But the only problem that I got with Kyrie in this situation, just call your boss. Call Steve Nash. Call I think Sean Marks is the general GM. Call him and say, bruh, I got this going on. I'm not going to be able to make it tonight. Boom.
He left his new coach, a first-time head coach, hanging last night because Steve Nash is, I don't know. Steve Nash looks like he's lost some power because remember what Kevin and Kyrie talked about on a podcast.
Did he even have, Skip, if I hire you, do you really even have power? You can't have more. You can't have, there's no way.
Well, remember what they said a few months back? Do we really need a coach?
Right.
We don't really, we can all coach, right?
You could never have more power than the person that hired you. So we're going to just leave it at that, Skip. If Kevin, KD, and Kyrie feel they hired Steve Nash.
They do. I agree. I'm still a big fan of Kyrie's. I'm even a fan of his off the court just because his intellect.
He's a good person, Skip.
He's a good person.
He just played out non-scholarships at Lincoln University.
I agree.
He donated money to the WNBA so they can get their money during this pandemic because they weren't getting paid. He has a good heart, but there's just something else going on that he needs to find out for himself.
Well, he has a high intellect, and I always appreciate people who are deep thinkers because he is. Sometimes he thinks too deeply.
Right.
He goes into, obviously, Earth is flat theories and JFK assassination theories and UFO theories, and he's into the Illuminati and sometimes wears the Illuminati all-seeing eye symbol on his sneakers. He is very, deeper than most NBA players are in what he thinks about.
But Skip, don't get too deep now. You start missing games and you don't have enough. You're so deep in thought that you can't even call your bosses and let them know what's going on.
Correct.
And then 30 minutes before the game?
So what did he call himself the other day? Remember his pawns quote about, he
don't talk to pawns.
He doesn't talk to pawns like the media people are all just pawns in this game that he's playing. But he called himself an artist. And I'm assuming, but I'm just speculating, as you said, I'm assuming somehow he felt like last night his head wasn't in the right space to perform his art, right? Maybe it's because of the events of the last 2-3 days. Maybe it was Jacob Blake. Maybe it was the Capitol building. Maybe it was all of the above. And he just said, I'm not right mentally right now. But what did you say? We talked about Paul George, Marcus Morris saying, gee, we thought seriously about not playing. And in our heart of hearts, we think we shouldn't have played. And you said, no, you can't give in to that man who still sits in the Oval Office. You've got to go ahead and play. That's what you do. You play. Okay. Well, you probably say the same thing.
Absolutely.
Kyrie.
But you know what, Skip? It might be even deeper than that. And like you say, I just don't want him to turn into Kanye Irving. That, you get so deep in thought and you get so self-absorbed, you forget that what you do. And sometimes I think, we start to see ourselves, we don't see ourselves for who we really are and what we really are. I'm not saying he shouldn't be a thinker. I'm not saying he shouldn't read or go places or get in touch with himself. But I just think, just be professional about it. Because you had enough courtesy. You weren't so deep in thought you didn't let anyone know.
Yep.
You did reach out to teammates and text them and let them know, bro, I ain't coming tonight. Give Steve Nash, give Sean Marks that same courtesy. That's it.
So if I might, I'm going to take it back to just the simple basketball level. Do you realize what this team can do without Kevin Durant and Kyrie, and then last night without either one of them?
They blew the doors off the Sixers, who had the best record, if I'm not mistaken.
7-1. They came in 7-1.
And they blew the doors off them.
They lost Seth Curry to COVID.
Yeah.
For a few days.
Hell, the way they played last night, they didn't need a Steph Curry to beat the Nets.
No, Seth has been maybe even a little better than Steph so far. But the point is, I'm looking at this last night, and I'm saying, well, Karis LeVert is a star, and he's a sixth man, obviously.
Yeah.
And he had 22 and 10 assists last night. And I'm saying Joe Harris, who won the three.
Joe Harris is the...
Hey, well, he makes 6 of 9 threes and scores 28. And then how about Jared Allen? Is he not emerging as a star in the middle of that, both offensively and defensively? He had 15 and 11.
On 6 shots.
Oh, man. And then they just keep coming at you in waves. Taurean Prince and Jeff Green is on that team, who I've always liked.
I love Jeff Green.
Whew, man.
Wish the Lakers could have got him.
Well, you got it. And
we'll trade you right now, Kaku, for Jeff Green, straight up.
Well, okay, but the point is, I got it. They won't do that. I don't think they'll do that. I think they like their chemistry, which brings us back to James Harden. What do they need with James Harden?
Oh, but Skip, okay, I give you James Harden, but I'm going to take Jared Allen. I'm getting Karis LeVert. I'm going to get a bunch. I'm going to get Joe Harris. You can have James Harden. And 2 first-rounders.
If Kyrie gets his head straight and comes back and they can lock in and lock down with him and Kevin, I'm not betting against this bunch.
The thing that causes you concern now, what happens if this happens during the playoffs?
It could.
What happens if this happens in the in the finals?
Yep. Well, that's what you have
so
to do.
You hope that whatever he has going on, he can get it rectified and he gets to a place where he feels comfortable that whatever's going on doesn't impact his play and he misses any more games. Or, like I said, I don't really like to speculate, to go there. So whatever issues he's dealing with, because things are different now, Skip. People deal with things, and some people can handle things, and some people can't.
Yep.
And some people deal with things in different ways. And whatever way Kyrie, maybe that's not the way I would deal with it. I don't know what's going on, but maybe that's not the way you or I would deal with it.
No.
But that's the way he chose to deal with it. The only problem, like I said, I have, Skip, is that he didn't call his bosses. He didn't call Steve Nash and Sean Marks.
Well, all I know is the rest of the Eastern Conference is going to have to deal with these guys.
Oh, yeah, they're not, that's not, everybody knows they're not going to be an easy out.
No.
And if they can but Skip, they're going to need to play together for an extended period of time.
They are.
Because, you know, Kyrie's missed a couple of games. KD's going to be out for the rest of the week. So once they get their chemistry, that's why I picked them.
All right, well, I hope Kyrie's okay. Hope everything is good and he figures everything out and he's back soon. Switching gears, could Deshaun Watson be on the move out of Houston? We've got an interesting scenario, guys.
Go to Denver.